Hey, what's up, you guys? WyattXM here, and today I'm going to present to you my top 50 metal albums of 2015. Yeah, this is it. This year has been absolutely fucking phenomenal. I have discovered so much great music from this year alone, and a top 20, a top 30, or a top 40 wasn't enough. I needed to do a top 50 because so many great albums have been released this year. So I just want to tell you this for a heads up. One, this is just my opinion. I'm not right. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. The main focus of this is to present to you 50 metal albums that you have may missed from this year that I highly recommend you check out. All 50 of these are worth your time and money. Also, another thing is that the only way the albums can qualify my list is if I listened to them and bought them. So, yeah, everything I'm going to say on this list I bought and I've listened to. So, there may be albums that you thought would be on this list but just haven't mostly because I didn't buy it or I just haven't gotten around to listening to it. And also, before we get into the list, I've made a three other lists, but they're only just three albums for each separate list. So, first separate list is best no, singer songwriter of this year, and that goes to Anna von Householf. She's a Swedish singer songwriter, I believe, and this is her newest album that has a little bit of experimental rock mixed with drone. Very dark and very beautiful, and it was just incredible. Also, best metal demo of this year goes to Ord with his demo of Rain and Dirt. This is considered a demo, even though it's like a full length worth of material, like like pretty lengthy for a demo, but it's qualified as a demo, so I put it on this list. Check this out, Ord, for the best demo album of this metal demo of this year. It's like atmospheric black metal, fucking gorgeous. And lastly, best non-metal album goes to Corporal Manate with their self-titled debut album that is fucking amazing. It's like folk mixed with opera, mixed with electronic and a little bit of rock. Incredible album that's breathtaking and just absolutely stellar. Check this out. Also, just a little heads up. 50 through 21, I'm going to do a little summary about what, just to let you know what each album's kind of like. 20 through 11, I will put in a medium summary, just going more in depth with it. 10 through 2, I will show off the album just to give you an idea of what it looks like and how much I love it. And number 1, I'm just going to fanboy over. So let's start this list with starting it off. At number 50 is Napalm Death, Apex Predator, grindcore legends that have put out another solid album that is worth checking out if you haven't. Number 41 is Nile Would Should Not Be on Earth. Nile has returned to their roots, adding in more technical death metal and less really shitty production with their last album. So big improvement, and I hope they continue on this way. Number 48 is Entrails, a Swedish death metal band that really reminded me a lot of Entombed, which I really enjoyed. Their newest album, Obliteration, I really enjoyed the track Reanimate the Dead, their last track off the album that has this really epic melodic guitar towards the outro that is so fucking awesome. So they come in at number 48. Number 47 is an Italian one-man black metal project called Vardan. He's released quite a handful of albums this year, but the one I got linked to is his best out of like the 7 he's released this year. And Vardan's very atmospheric, very cold and harsh and abrasive. Pretty much a straightforward black metal album that's worth your time if you want to check it out. So he comes in at number 47. Number 46 is Between the Buried and Me with their newest album, progressive metal mixed with jazz and some post rock. The only problem I have with this album, which is why it's not really that high, is that the transitions just happen. There's no build up, no falling action, and kind of dragged out a little too much for my liking. But still, they qualify at number 46 on my list. Number 45 is Destructor, an Australian black and death metal band that came back after a 6-year hiatus and really came back with a fucking punch and very good album. So that's number 45. Number 44 is Deathheaven with their newest album, New Bermuda. It's like a black metal mixed with shoegaze that is very atmospheric. It has a little bit more of a punch than the last album, Sunbather, and I think it's actually a very solid album, and it comes in at number 44. Number 43 is Sun with their newest album, Canon. I was expecting it to be a little bit more. It's only 30 minutes long with 3 tracks, which is actually very short considering that we're talking about Sun. But overall, the material they presented with was good enough to make it on this list at number 43. Kind of a little bit of a disappointment, but still solid enough to make it on the list, like I said. Number 42, I might be pronouncing this wrong. I believe it's Hic La Siete. It's a Spanish black and death metal band with their newest album, The Cosmic Trance Void. I believe it's the right way. And this is a very ancient and very dense black release from this year that I'm very happy I was able to discover by accident, pretty much. So they come in at number 42. Number 41 is my favorite Death Doom album of this year by Hooded Menace. Darkness Drips Forth. They're from Finland, I believe, and this is only 4 tracks on this album, but all very lengthy and very killer. I love the mid-pace, the slow parts that Hooded Menace puts in their music. That is just very addicting to listen to. So they come in at number 41. Number 40 is Temple. This is an experimental band that has both like black metal, some prog, some groove metal, I believe, and some post metal. And this is their album, The Moonlit Our Path. Very interesting stuff. It's pretty much a Scale to Summit, got a more darker tone, which is really interesting. And yeah, they got in at number 40 on my list. Number 39 is a band I love that my girlfriend hates, Gnaw Their Tongues. It's a one-man project from the Netherlands, and it's like experimental mixed with noise and black metal. Very harsh, pretty much if a snuff film is going on. This might surprise you that this is only 39 on my list because I'm a big fan of him, I should say, because it's a one-man project. But, yeah, it's just everything else that's been released this year surpasses it, and this is kind of one of his weaker albums compared to some of the other work, but still makes it on this list at number 39. Number 38 is Sulphur Aeon with their album Gateway to the Antisphere. This is a band that loves Cthulhu for some reason, and I'm fucking okay with it. They're a death metal band, I believe from Greece, that made one fucking solid album. This is their sophomore album, I believe. And yeah, for a death metal album, this is pretty much everything I want and a little bit more. Very destructive, very heavy, blast beats galore pretty much. So it makes it at number 38. Number 37 is Dead Space with their album The Promise of the Oblivion. Now, I didn't put him on this list because the guy gave me his CD for free. Chris, I believe his name is. I put it on this list because it's just a really solid album. It's depressing suicidal black metal mixed with post-rock and some funeral doom towards the last 2 tracks that's full of emotion, and it really just hits you in the feels pretty much, and it makes it at number 37 on my list. Number 36 is Purient with their album, or his album, I think it's a one-man project called Frozen Niagara Falls. And even though this isn't technically metal, I made it on this list because it's noise mixed with industrial, and a little bit of ambient keyboards here and there. And it's absolutely beautiful. Sometimes it's harsh, sometimes it's disgusting sounding. It's all over the place, but it's a very intriguing album that's worth your time if you want to listen to it. It comes in at number 36. Number 35 is Adversarial. This is a Canadian black and death metal band that's really fucking stepped up their game with this album, and I think it's a humongous improvement. Really looking forward to what else they're going to put out in the coming years in the near future. 1 second, just need a little drink. Alright, continuing on. Number 34 is Cult Leader. This is a kind of like a crust punk mixed with grindcore band that, even though their album has quite a handful of tracks, and they're all around the 2 minute to 2.5 minute mark, it leaves a really lasting impression. Very pummeling, extremely chaotic, and a fucking blast to listen to, and it comes in at number 34 on my list. Coming in at number 33 is Genocide Pact. This was a fucking blind buy, and one of the best blind buys I've had in a while. This is a death metal band from, I believe, Washington, D.C., and I love the guitarist. Extremely groovy, very easy to get into, and yet very barbaric. I feel like any fan of both the harsh side of death metal and the new side of death metal, or the modern side of death metal, can really get into this, and it comes in at number 33 on my list. Number 32 is Shape of Despair, a Finnish funeral doom project, a band, I should say, I'm sorry about that, that has released one of the slowest albums of this year, but it's so fucking packed with emotion that, oh my god, I just feel like crying sometimes listening to this. Yet it's extremely beautiful. It tells a very depressing yet emotional story that is worth checking out at number 32. Number 31 is Krallice. I don't even know how the fuck to pronounce their album, but this is an avant-garde, somewhat progressive black metal band that is very intriguing. I believe they're from New York. Don't hold me to it, but Krallice is very artsy in a way, and it really stands out, and it made it number 31 on my list. Number 30 is Arcturus, a band that's finally came back with a solid fucking album. This is avant-garde mixed with prog, kind of like a little bit of a step up from Krallice, in my opinion, which is why they're neck and neck, because both of them pretty much play the same type of music. But Arcturus won it over for me, and overall, it's very artsy, very elegant, and extremely intriguing, and it comes in at number 30. Number 29 is one of my favorite black metal bands, Shooter, with their album Anti, I believe. And Shooter, Norwegian black metal, 666% Norwegian black metal, as they consider themselves. Fucking explosive and so fucking humbling. Easily made number 29 for me. Number 28 is Vanum, not Venom, Vanum, V-A-N-U-M, with their album Realm of Sacrifice. And this is another tremendous USA black metal band that I really feel like if you're a fan of Burzum, you will love this. So they come in at number 28. Number 27 is Utsep, I believe. And I'm not putting them on this list because they're off of my buddy Sean's label. I discovered them before I ever became friends with Sean, and when he told me this is off his label, it didn't change one little thing about them. I think they're a tremendous, epic, atmospheric black metal band from the USA that if you're a fan of Caladan Brood or Summoning like me, you will dig this immediately. So it comes in at number 27. Number 26, it's kind of getting mixed reactions, but I really enjoyed it. Number 26 is Enslaved Within Times. I really love the balance of prog and black metal that this band creates. That's absolutely beautiful and yet harsh at the same time. It's a great balance, and I have a total blast listening to it, and it comes in at number 26. Number 25 is a band I think everyone's going to put number 1 on their list, but to me, it's a very solid album. It is. I'm not taking anything away from it. And number 25 is Leviathan with Scar-Sighted. It's, oh my god, fucking chaotic. Still waiting for my big Die Hard package that I bought for the past few months. But either way, Leviathan is a black metal band from the USA, one-man project that has some noise, it has some ambient, it has some straight-up death metal at some parts. It's really well-balanced and really mixed up with some great subgenres to make it stand out. And it comes in at number 25. I almost lost my place for a little bit, but yes, number 25 on my list. Number 24 is Desolate Shrine. Pretty much the best death metal, straightforward death metal album of this year. It's an hour-long worth of material, but it doesn't it doesn't overstay its welcome, which is saying a lot because it's an hour long. But Desolate Shrine, my god, very humbling, very evil and twisted death metal that is really up my alley, and it made it 24 on my list. Number 23 is Swallow the Sun with their album Songs of the North. This is pretty much a triple album, nearly 3 hours worth of material, and all separated with genres. We got the first album, which is melodic doom metal, which I think is packed full of emotion. The second album is the acoustic parts, and the third part is funeral doom. Really well balanced. If you're a fan of any of those doom metal subgenres, you will love this album. Great packaging. Overall, it's really intriguing. Big reason why they're this high on this list is because it's the longest out of everything on this list, with, like I said, 3 hours worth of material, and it comes in at number 23. Number 22, this might surprise you that this fell quite hard, but it still manages to get in the top 25. Number 22 is Ghostbath. I know this might surprise you because early in the year I was like, album of the year, but so much other stuff has came and surpassed it. But Ghostbath, their album Moonlover, the emotion. It's depressing suicidal black metal, but what makes it stand out is it's very uplifting, and that's because it adds melodic guitar riffs, which is unheard of for depressing suicidal black metal, because the word melodic is not used with DSBM. But overall, very emotional. I love the shrieks, even though it's just it still just packs so much emotion, and the instrumentals really pave the way for even more emotion on top of emotion. So it comes in at number 22. Number 21 is one of my girlfriend's favorite bands because we've seen them like twice this year. And number 21 is Tribulation with their album, The Children of the Night. They really changed up their style once again, and it's for the positive for them. This is a kind of like a doom metal mixed with traditional heavy metal, blackened band, I guess, that is very intriguing and yet very melodic and extremely easy to get into. This is a band that I would suggest you tell your new friends about to check out if you want to get them into metal. So Tribulation comes in at number 21. Excuse me. Number 20 is Devouring Star through Lung and Heart, or through Heart and Lung. I got mixed up there. But this is a black metal band from Finland that is very new. I don't know much about them because all their identities are conceived. But oh my god, so barbaric and just so kick-ass. Devouring Star, really solid album to start off with, and I'm really looking forward to what else this band will put out in the very near future. Very solid start for them. Coming in at number 19 is Archgoat, the Apocalyptic Triumphator. Very lucky to see them at the Hell's Head Bash. The Apocalyptic Triumphator, I love the balance and tempo that it goes from fast to slow to mid-pace. All great balanced out. The vocals are just heavy as fucking balls, and the instrumentation is just pummeling. Very fun to listen to, and it made it an easy number 19 for me. Coming in at number 18 is Revenge, Behold Total Rejection. One of Canada's best, I sound retarded there saying Canadian, but anyway, one of Canada's best blackened death metal bands or war metal bands that adds a little bit of grindcore, which I think makes the whole production chaos, really chaotic. It's very pummeling, extremely fun to listen to once again. Very fortunate enough to see them early on this year in January when they opened up for Mayhem in Watain. So, yep, Revenge, Behold Total Rejection comes in at number 18. Number 17 is Der Vag Freiheit, I believe that's the right way to pronounce it. And this is their album Stellar that came out early this year. It's like a atmospheric black metal band with guitarists that are absolutely beautiful. The melodies this band makes, oh my god, will just take your mind away to some beautiful place. Der Vag Freiheit, hopefully I'm saying that right. Tremendous band, one of the best off of Season of Mist, their label, and makes it at number 17 on my list. Coming in at number 16, this might surprise you, Ghost with their newest album, Melora. And what makes them stand out from everything on this list, it's not because they're not the heaviest, they're not the most barbaric, it's that they're super easy to sing along to. Out of everyone on this list, that's what makes them stand out. They are easy to sing along to, and they've made another tremendous album again. And yeah, they made it number 16 on my list because I can't get enough of it. It's super catchy, like the catchiest album of the year in my opinion. And yeah, I just have a blast singing along with this. I got my friends who hate metal to sing along with it, so that's saying a lot. So Ghost comes in at number 16. Number 15 is Megla with their album The Exercises in Futility, and this is a black and roll metal band. I think that's what they're considered. But the guitarist, if I made an album of the year based off of guitarist, Megla would easily make number 1. The guitarists off this album are super badass. Very catchy too, and they're not even melodic, which is saying a lot, and a bit atmospheric as well. Really stands out from everything off this list and made it number 15 on my list. Coming in at number 14 is Misthering or Mispiring. I think it's one of those ways. And this is an Icelandic black metal band, and I'm not even attempt to pronounce their album because it's in a different fucking language. But Misthering, I believe, tremendous album. Very barbaric, well balanced. I love how they changed the tempo. It's just very solid. The guitars are killer. The vocals are barbaric and everything you would expect in black metal. And yeah, just tremendous work. Coming in next at number 13 is Native Construct. This is a progressive metal band that's easily made the best straightforward prog metal album of this year. And even though I said straightforward prog metal, what I should have said was there's a lot of other subgenres coming into play. They got post-rock, they got post-metal, they got some jazz, they got some jazz fusion. Very well balanced that it's just really has a lot of different subgenres that really made it stand out. And at first you'll scratch your head saying, what the fuck? And then after the second listen, you will love it immediately. So Native Construct comes in at number 13. Coming in at number 12 is Achilles, one of the best United States black metal bands. I believe it's a one-man project that started out dark ambient, but is now turned into this really twisted and evil black metal album, or band, I should say. And the album is The Dreaming Eye. This is a band that is fucking evil, and it's really shown that the USA has really stepped up their game. This is a prime example of why I say that Achilles is just twisted. The guitarists are so monstrous sounding, yet a little bit, but yet melodic too, but also sinister. Very, just overall, a really killer album that should not be ignored by any black metal fan. Coming in at number 11, and I really hope I'm saying this right, is Macabre Omen, I think, with their album Gods of War. Wow. If you're a Bathory fan, please, for the love of fucking God, listen to this. Please, okay? They're from Greece, and they made probably one of the best black metal albums of this year. The guitarists are so fucking epic that just saying that word alone doesn't give it justice. Very melodic, very killer, and it's like every time I listen to this, I just want to get dressed up as a fucking warrior and just fucking tear shit up. Tremendous album, makes it number 11 for me. Now into the top 10. I'm doing pretty good time. We're only 20 minutes in. Coming in at number 10, and starting off the top 10, is A Forest of Stars with Behold the Sword You Cannot See. This is psychedelic black metal that is absolutely beautiful, yet intense at the same time. It's beauty meets intensity. Oh my god, the clean vocals of the woman, the clean female vocals mixed with the harsh male vocals and the clean male vocals. Oh, it will just take your mind, it will just drift your mind to some beautiful place. That's all I can say. The music is just as amazing and as epic as the artwork, and I highly recommend you check this out. Coming in at number 9 is Darktron. It's a one-man project from Greece. If you love Dead Space, listen to this right away. Very lucky to get this special package because I waited 4 months for it, but that's not the case. This is about the album. It's very dark and just really, it's full of solitude. It's really like just drifting in space and just hearing. It's just so hard to explain. All I can say is if you're a fan of Dark Space, I might have said Dead Space, but yeah, Dark Space, listen to this for the love of fucking Christ. That comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, this is obvious that this band would be in the top 10. Evangelist with their newest album, Enthrall to the Void of Bliss. Oh my god, this album just really fucking stands out. Experimental black and death metal from the United States that has a fucking harp. Sorry about that. Not a harp, a saxophone. A fucking saxophone. That's insane. Just overall very twisted, very nightmare sounding, and really fucking stood out to me. So that comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Drowning the Light with his newest album, From the Abyss. All of his work has been tremendous, but this is easily the best. And that's saying a lot because he's released quite a handful of albums. But Drowning the Light, absolutely amazing black metal, which has absolutely beautiful melodies, awesome guitars that are both dark and sinister, yet full of emotion at the same time, because there's a bit of DSBM in this. Not a lot, but just a little bit to say that there is. And overall, tremendous album, one of the best black metal albums to be released from this year. Alright, now next, number 6. Oh my god, you guys know I'm a Portal fan, so this... Abyssal. I don't know how to pronounce the album because it's one big fucking long word. But this is black metal mixed with death metal, mixed with doom metal, and a little bit of like ambient keyboards in the mix, along with some experimental work. This is absolutely amazing and barbaric and crushing and heavy as fuck. Tremendous album. This is their 3rd album, I think, and they've made all great albums, but this is their best one as of yet. One of the best UK black metal bands, black and death metal bands, just in general as of right now, and just please listen to this if you enjoy Portal like I do. Coming in at number 5, this is obvious that this would be on the list. Number 5 is, just gotta fix that, sorry. Number 5 is Human Serpent. Inhumane Minimalism. This is black metal. This is the best straightforward black metal release of this year, in my opinion. So fucking chaotic. I've listened to this countless times this year, and I discovered this by accident by clicking on the wrong link. I was thinking I was clicking one thing, but I accidentally clicked this on the Atmospheric Black Metal Band page, and I fell in love immediately. Warning though, the first second of this is a fucking explosion going off. The vocals kick in, the instrumentals kick in, everything kicks in at once and just punches you with a fistful of intensity. Very fucking awesome album. That is so pummeling, and I have a fucking blast listening to this, and it comes in at number 5. Now, the top 4, I can't tell you how many times. The reason why I had such a big delay with this list is because I couldn't decide what I wanted to put for the top 4, but I finally decided, and it took forever. But anyway, number 4 is Obscui, I think. And this is a medieval, pagan, atmospheric black metal band from Minnesota. Wow. They have a fucking harp, and it's so beautiful. It's so breathtaking and beautiful that it really is one of the big factors that makes it stand out, along with the fact that it just is so epic. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Summoning to an extent, but my god, this album is amazing. Excuse me. And yeah, it had to be number 4 on my list. Believe it or not, the co-owner of Armageddon suggested me this, and I can't thank him enough for doing this. So that comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is one of the best one-man projects right now, and this is Thy Catafalque with his album Skur. He used to be Hungarian, but now he's moved to the UK, or resides in the UK, so it's a UK avant-garde band. That it's a bit of atmospheric black metal in the mix when you listen to the vocals, but this album is a mind fuck, and it's very artsy and absolutely spectacular. There's a little bit of thrash metal, believe it or not, towards some of the intros. It has like a really thrash metal guitar riff, but then transitions to this absolutely beautiful avant-garde guitar riff with atmospheric black metal vocals leading the way and paving the way. Overall, this album it's just amazing. That's all I can say. I'm just speechless every time I listen to this, and it comes in at number 3 on my list. Number 2 is the best black and death metal album of this year, and it's pretty much the offspring of Portal. I know, I'm sorry I keep bringing up Portal, but I'm sorry, I just love Portal. But anyway, number 2 is Apparatus with their debut self-titled album that is experimental black and death metal that is so fucking demented, but in a good way, believe it or not. It's demented, it's unwelcoming, it's barbaric. Oh my god, please fucking listen to this if you enjoy Portal as well, or just weird atmospheric black and death, experimental black and death metal, I'm sorry. Oh my god, this album just really fucking stood out to me, and I had to put in the top 4, and it made it at number 2 on my list. And number 1, if my buddy Jordan is watching this, I know right now he wants to give me a high five, sadly we can't, but number 1, OXXO with their album Namate. Oh my god, this album is a mindfuck in the best way possible. The emotion, the guitar riffs, the melodies, the drums, the production, the fucking vocals, every little thing stands out about this. I've listened to this countless times, and every time I listen to it, I discover something new, and that's what makes it stand out. Add to the fact that this is original, really. The vocals, the lyrics are made from their own language, which is absolutely groundbreaking and insane, in my opinion. And the track, I believe it's like LMDLM, something like that. Oh my god, it just feels like I'm carrying a ton of emotion on my back every time I listen to it. And I just want to go in a forest and like hug a tree. It's weird. Trust me, I know it's a weird description, but believe me, you'll want to do that too as well. But OXXO, Namate, it had to be number 1 because this stood out from everything. I can't compare this to anything. It's in a dimension all its own, and it made it number 1 on my list. So yeah, guys, that's it. Hopefully I didn't waste too much time. I know I pretty much made a half an hour worth of a video, but yeah, hopefully you discovered something new. I'll put in the links as quick as I can because I'm recording on my phone, so it's going to take a while. But anyway, that's my top 50 albums of the year, metal albums of 2015. Hopefully you discovered something new. I'm going to take a 2-day break, then I will be back with my most anticipated albums of 2016 that I will put up later this week. And yeah, that's really it. So as always, thanks for watching, liking, supporting, and subscribing. You guys are the fucking best, and keep it metal.